Hi, this is Bella Ferranti, and this is my presentation on middle adulthood. So, occupational balance versus imbalance in middle adulthood. Balanced living means considering all aspects of one's life. If one focuses too much on one area, then they risk neglecting another one. The different aspects of a balanced person include physical, mental, emotional, social, work/financial, and spiritual. During middle adulthood, most people are busy with family, work, hobbies, or community responsibilities. Sometimes people allow their schedules to take control of their lives, and priorities might get disorganized. As a result, people may feel stressed, frustrated, and tired. Individuals may experience burnout. Specific signs of burnout include a lack of interest or motivation to carry out usual activities, feelings of indifference and problems with follow-through, being unable to meet the demands of work, a feeling of exhaustion, and keeping people at a distance. Job burnout is a special type of work-related stress. It involves a state of physical or emotional exhaustion that also involves a sense of reduced accomplishment and loss of personal identity. When one experiences burnout, they have less time to devote to the things they enjoy, such as family, friends, or hobbies. If one has less time or energy to devote to meaningful things and activities, their occupational balance suffers. So what comprises middle adulthood? Middle adulthood is comprised of finding love and settling down with a partner, creating a comfortable home, raising children, helping them to be responsible adults, and taking care of aging parents. Relationships. Relationships during middle adulthood include significant other, parents, children, friends, and grandparents. In regards to a significant other, research has found that having a singular person with whom you can trust and be authentic with is more important in regards to happiness than having a large social network. The rates of happiness during marriage tend to follow a U-curve. Happiness rates are highest in the years prior to children, not as happy during the middle years, and increase in the later years when parenting responsibilities end and finances stabilize. Conflict between partners leads to lower well-being. Sometimes conflict between partners leads to divorce. In regards to parents, some adults may have expected to spend their middle adult years traveling or with their own children, but instead find themselves caring for their aging parents. Some aging parents are completely dependent on their own children, while some are partially or completely independent. Those with dependent parents may help them financially, including helping them pay for little things or big things like bills, physically, such as bringing them into their own homes to care for them, and emotionally, such as being a friend but also a support system. Friends are a healthy alternative to family and acquaintances. Friends offer support, direction, guidance, and a change of pace from usual routines. And lastly, grandparents. In addition to maintaining relationships with their children and aging parents, many people in middle adulthood take on yet another role, becoming a grandparent. This means they could also have additional responsibilities, such as helping their children care for their child. One of the most important relationships during middle adulthood is children. So by middle age, most individuals have children who are at least adolescent age. Adolescent children growing up and leaving home can sometimes be a relief, but can also be a time of sadness. Some individuals experience the empty nest syndrome, which is a feeling of loneliness when their children leave home. Many middle-aged adults continue to have strong bonds with their children even if they have left home. However, many parents continue to help their children with finances or other needs even while they are not living at home. In recent years, there has been a growing trend of adult children returning home to live with their parents. This may postpone certain plans that a middle adult and potential partner had for when their children moved out. The stressors that come with maintaining relationships as well as other responsibilities can have a negative impact on one's well-being. One may be so stressed that they face burnout or a midlife crisis. Middle adults are constantly reminded of their aging timeline, especially if they are caring for an aging parent or have to deal with their parent's death. These reminders only increase stress levels in middle adults. Another stressor in middle adults' life is the fact that they know their adolescent children are on the brink of adulthood. This can trigger a midlife crisis for some adults, but it is also just another factor that reminds middle adults of their aging process. Statistics. So in regards to marriage and divorce, by middle age, more than 90% of adults will have married at least once. Couples who stay together until after the last child has left home will probably remain married for at least another 20 years. About 50% of all marriages in the United States end in divorce, with the median duration of these marriages being about 7 years. In regards to caregiving for an aging parent, an estimated 11 million caregivers, 28% of all caregivers, provide unpaid care to an adult while also caring for children in the home. And lastly, in regards to empty nest syndrome, a 2019 survey found that over 80% of respondents said they feel like they have more freedom, 62% felt less financially stressed, and 40% of the respondents say they are still financially supporting their child and spend an average $250 a month on them for things such as cell phone bills, helping with rent and gas, etc. These statistics just emphasize the amount of stress middle adults face when having to maintain so many different relationships and roles. Social emotional development. Social emotional development during middle adulthood includes social emotional selectivity theory, generativity versus stagnation, and a midlife crisis. The social emotional selectivity theory follows the premise that as one's age increases, they become increasingly selective and prefer things that bring positives as opposed to negatives. This selectivity maximizes positive emotional experiences and decreases emotional risk. Individuals tend to minimize their social networks so that acquaintances and social interactions satisfy their emotional needs. Generativity versus stagnation. Generativity can be described as making your mark on the world. It involves finding one's life work as well as forming and guiding the next generation. This can happen through things such as volunteering, mentoring, or raising children. Those who do not develop this may experience stagnation. Stagnation occurs when an individual does not find a way to make a meaningful contribution. These individuals may feel disconnected or uninvolved with their community and society as a whole. Midlife crisis. Midlife crisis is a time where one questions their beliefs and values. It typically happens in the early to mid 40s when an individual realizes that their life is limited and they have yet to accomplish everything that they want to. Specific triggers can include problems with work, trouble in a marriage, children growing up and leaving the home, or the aging or death of a person's parents. Significant outcomes of a midlife crisis could include divorce, changing jobs, or moving from the city to the suburbs. Other individuals will change their thinking to thinking of themselves as being in the prime of their lives rather than how many years they have left. There it is. This is a video. So, for this video, during middle adulthood, many tend to have a negative outlook on their life and what has passed and what is yet to come. I feel this video does a good job of bringing a different outlook to middle adulthood. There are many things to enjoy during middle adulthood, and I like the perspective of this being a time of reformation rather than a crisis. As a middle adult, you are still young with many years to experience new things. Middle essence is a term that middle adults should learn about, in my opinion. Oops. Go. Oops. Okay. So, how to stay balanced. Learn to say no, set boundaries, ask for help, take care of your physical health, do things you enjoy, make a schedule for rest, focus on today, and take a break. And that is my presentation. This is my reference slide. I'm uploading a more readable view with my presentation.